Hello and Jai Hind, everyone. I'm Major Mohammed Ali Shah, and I have the proud privilege and honor to be in conversation with a young, dynamic, well-dressed, and a very impressive young man. I'll not say a boy, I almost said boy. But he's only 15 years old, and he is a boy who I would call a genius. Why a genius? He has been deeply involved with spirituality at the same time, with technology, with cyberspace. He's only in class ninth in the Asian International School, and he's a very, very bright student. Now he is curious about both the digital world and the inner self. His journey inward began with yoga and pranayama, where he lost 13.5 kgs in 6 weeks. No gym, just discipline. Now that sparked his interest in Vedanta and philosophy. Along the way, he's explored coding, cybersecurity, and writing, winning Avishkar's International Game League. We will come to that. He'll explain that as well. Earning cybersecurity internship and securing a partial scholarship from EC Council. That CCT certification. We'll come to that as well. At heart, he's simply a seeker, learning and evolving every day. Let's welcome Dibyadip Mitra. Dibyadip, Jai Hind, and thank you very much for taking your time.
Thank you, sir, for bringing me live, and good morning. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Antra ma'am for giving me this opportunity to be with you and our school principal ma'am, Miss Simran Sanghera.
You are very lucky to have a principal like Mrs. Simran Sanghera. She's a dynamic lady and very, very hard to find such an enterprising and dynamic personalities like her, in fact. And Antra Mohan, of course, I had come for a book launch. We had a book launch in your school as well. And you people were so receptive and so responsive. It was very moving. Debbie, you have explored the world of cybersecurity and spirituality together. Two completely different worlds. How did that happen, and what keeps you connected to both?
Yeah, from the very young age, I had a curiosity of understanding things from very first principles, which brought me to this both which paths which seems different, cybersecurity and spirituality. When I first saw terminal window, I came to know that there are multiple lines of codes, not thousands but millions, which runs the program smoothly. But hidden in the depths are the vulnerabilities, which can be exploited and used to hack the system. In a similar way, when I first opened Bhagavad Gita, I was amazed to see how it has explored the human mind, human body, and the soul. By peeling the layers of consciousness, I came to know the vulnerabilities of the mind that can be exploited and hacked. Those are greed, anger, jealousy,
Right.
which, which can take us to wrong directions of life. And I understood that hacking the mind is the biggest hack that we can do, isn't it? As Bhagavad Gita
Very
quotes,
well said. Very well said.
who conquered the mind
Very well
can
said.
conquer the world.
Very well said. And in fact, what better than coming from you, who's an IT genius, I would say, hacking the mind is the best hack. In fact, people try to hack into others' phones, others' emails, others' laptops. But we have to hack our own mind and identify our own mind. Yes, you are absolutely right over there. No, Devjit, in today's world, many teenagers, they chase quick results or overnight success. But I heard you resonate from the idea of effort over outcomes. A very famous motivational speaker once said that it is not the effort but the outcome that matters. But whether people agree with him or not, that's a different thing. But what you have said, I totally agree with you. It is the effort over outcome, and that is something which everyone needs to know and realize. Now, could you share how this belief shapes your learning or projects, Devjit?
Yeah, this is my favorite question I would like to answer. Few years back, I was not different. I was also chasing the results, marks, certificates. But after reading this Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita, I came to know that we have to do our work with full heart and soul without expecting any outcomes or results so that we can remain free, calm, and peaceful without taking any extra stress or overheads. I would like to quote from Bhagavad Gita. Karmani vadi karasya ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetubu ma te sangostva karmani. It means you have the right to do your prescribed duties, your actions, but not to expect any fruits of results. You cannot consider yourself the cause of the results caused by your actions, and you cannot remain in inaction. This truly resonates within me. I'd like to share an instance of my life when I unknowingly followed Karma Yoga. Like you mentioned, that I own in Avishkar Nationals. There, we are having the 2 days finals in Delhi. On first day, we are having the hackathon, and on second day, there was the prize ceremony and all. On the hackathon day, we are given a list of requirements we have to follow to make the game. So we started it in the afternoon and did it till the end. And after everyone left, till we were also doing. And later we thought that maybe we had not made the game so good. We have put so much effort still because the game was a bit buggy. But the next day, so we were not confident enough that we would get the third prize also. So we were expecting it would be good if we get the third prize only. So we sat at the back of the stadium. We, we didn't owe the school uniform because we thought that we may lost it. So we are about to leave the stadium, becoming frustrated and fear that we will not win. But the rain came outside, so we couldn't leave. Now the announcement starts. First, the third position, we didn't. Then we thought that we didn't own anything, so we just started moving out. And then they called the second position. And suddenly they called the first position goes to Asian International School. They get Dibyadip Mitra on stage. And we are like amazed. What? How did we win? And later we understood that the game we made wasn't even buggy. It was, we made too much that their platform couldn't handle our logic. And this how we unknowingly followed the Karma Yoga.
Wow, very well said by you. In fact, and in fact, Asian International School under the leadership, the management, Mr. Alok, he's a very fine person. He's leading the school in a very, very right way. And of course, they chose the right person for the right job. And Mrs. Simran Sanghera, what a dynamic lady. And she has actually shaped the school so well. And I was truly impressed. I have been all over, not just the country, but the world, in different schools, different universities, corporates giving talks. But a school like this, a student like you, Devjit, Devdeep, in fact, it is really remarkable. Tell you one thing, you're only 15, but in that phase where most teenagers struggle with distractions, social media, peer pressure, or simply figuring out life, what's been your biggest challenge as a teenager and how do you deal with it?
Like any other teenagers, my biggest challenge in their life had been the distractions that most of the people face due to social media and all. But I always have a keen interest in Vedic wisdom and mainly Bhagavad Gita. So there I read that the mind is like a incessant flow of river, which is never disturbed by the hello.
Yeah. I'm listening to
Am I
you.
audible? Yeah,
Yes, very much, very much. We can hear you.
yeah. As the Bhagavad Gita says, our mind is restless, but it can be managed through yoga and pranayama. So I do every day pranayama some simple techniques so that I can become and stay calm and mindful while doing the work. In this way, I manage the challenges of life. And
Right. Superb, superb. When you were speaking, that reminded me of Rabindranath Tagore's poem, where the mind is without fear, the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world hasn't been broken into a fragment by narrow domestic walls, where time is striving, it stretches arms beyond perfection. And this is a poem which actually I could resonate with what you were saying. In fact, let me ask you one thing. Being a teenager, being just 15, my son is 12. He's soon going to be step into teenage years. What advice do you give to youngsters who are going to be stepping into their teenagers now? Yes, Dipti.
yes, the suggestion I would like to give to the teenagers or the young teens that don't chase the results. Don't chase how much marks you get, your social media followers or likes, but only do the focus, only focus on the process or the work you do. As Bhagavad Gita says, it's better to fail in your own duties instead of getting successful in others' duties. For young teens, their work is to study, become a good student, not by marks, but to gain knowledge. This is what I will suggest to young teens.
Right. Tell me one thing, for a youngster like you, who's in his teens, what does education mean to you? Does it mean going to a good school, a good college, getting your B.Ed, or getting your ME, or Master of Engineering, whatever, or going to IIT, getting a PhD, or it is experiences, what you have experienced in life, what you have read on your own, what you've observed, what you have thought, what the opinions you have formed. What is the education according to you?
According to me, the education is slowly realizing the true nature of self, the real Brahman, or which is called the eternal being of life. Through
Wow.
education, we realize who we really are, not how marks we get, but what degree we attain, but realize the true world, true nature of ourselves.
Wow,
This
very
is
well said.
education.
I must tell you, firstly, I am very impressed by the way you're dressed, in fact, because a dress makes a man. And I personally am feeling sheepish because I was wearing a suit, a three-piece suit, in fact, just a minute before this. Then I changed into this shirt because this is particularly why this shirt. It's from Whistling Woods International. That's Subhash Guy's film school in Mumbai, where I was a faculty. I would train teenagers, youngsters who want to become actors. And I was a teacher there. So to say teacher, I would say I learned more from my students rather. So I thought I'll be able to connect with young minds. I'm going to be sending this to my students from Whistling Woods International. Now, you are into technology, you are also into spirituality. Tell us the connection of spirituality and science. Devdeep.
Yeah. The science focuses on the physical world or physical nature of us and the world, while the spirituality focus on the transcendental nature of the reality. Both collide at the same. That is the eternal universe, or we can say Brahman according to the Vedanta. In
Right,
both
very well said.
the realms, we try to realize what is the true nature, what is the reality. Like people, scientists conduct experiments to understand what's the reality of this thing. And through Vedanta, we try to realize that by through introspecting ourselves.
You have a very nice comment over there by Healthify Moms, and that is squadron leader Cheta Shankar, in fact, who I had the honor of interviewing yesterday. And she is somebody who has gone in from putting on a lot of weight after her child's delivery and to losing weight. You have gone ahead. 13.5 kgs in 6 weeks is not easy at all. Could you like to share with us the journey? How and not through gym, through pure discipline, you attained that. How did that happen?
Yeah. Like 2 years back, I was too much overweight. Like I was 95.5 kgs weight. That time I was around 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I
Wow.
went to a person who is into this yoga, a kind of doctor. He suggested me some basic yoga and some disciplines that I have to follow. Like for 6 weeks, I left whole non-veg thing. I didn't eat any bread, any puffed rice, only on vegetables, only on fruits. Every day wake up at 5 a.m., 30 minutes morning walk, then pranayama, yoga for more 30 minutes. I followed this routine for 6 weeks without expecting for results. And suddenly I saw I lost weight of 13.5 kgs.
Wow. Wow. Well, that is quite something, and scholar leader Shisha Shankar would be hearing you. And in fact, is it purely manifestation or the thinking or part of positive thinking, or because when we think positive, we tend to behave that way? So, what do you attribute it to? I mean, you mean, how much was exercise and how much was diet that played in your role in this?
The main thing was mindset, how I how I thought. If I thought that I will not lose weight and still if I kept doing yoga and pranayama, it wouldn't have worked. I might have gained weight. And science also proves that if we take excess stress or think negative, then our cortisol level rises, which increases our weight.
Right. Absolutely rightly said. If you think you're beaten, you are. If you think you cannot, you don't. If you'd like to win but think you cannot, there's always a hint you won't. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win the prize. Out in the world, we find success begins with a person's will. It's all in the state of mind. Life battles don't always go to the stronger or faster men. But sooner or later, the person who wins is the one who thinks he can. Dibyadip, firstly, I would like to compliment you. You have a very, very nice voice. You have a very, very deep, a very rich, a very good voice, and you have a tremendous screen presence. And, we are approaching 18 minutes, and 18 minutes is the talk of TED, in fact. So I would like to ask you tomorrow if your phone rings and if you get an invitation to speak on TEDx or TED, what topic would you like to choose? If I guess correctly, it would be on your own Vedanta. But let me see
Yeah,
what my guess is
absolutely.
right or not. Yeah. Okay. See, I've guessed it right. So, and what is
I
the idea you would like to throw out? Yes.
I choose karma yoga, following the path of karma yoga. How people can attain extreme level of success without thinking about results or outcomes, but just focusing on the process. As it is also proved that hard work can beat talent, because talent means a high degree of intuition in some person, and intuition means some person can recognize some patterns or match some patterns easily. And if someone practices a certain thing for many days, he will also attain the same level of pattern guessing thing, which is also called intuition. So the hardworking person this way can beat the talented person.
Wow. Very well said by you. And in fact, what you mentioned, there's a quote by in Bhagavad Gita as well. कार्य के काम करे जा कार्य करे जा फल चिंता मत कर. And that is what you believe in as well. And Dibyadip, I truly appreciate you taking your time and speaking to me. And thank you very much for your time. Convey my regards to your parents. And may you continue inspiring and being a role model for the youth of today. In fact, Dibyadip, thank you very much. Jai
Thank
Hind,
you,
bhaiya.
sir. And I would also like to share a
Yeah,
famous
yeah,
line
please.
which inspires me that you also say by Harivansh Rai Bachchan. लड़ों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. Like this is my first time speaking with someone like live. Before that, I couldn't speak, like you said in your seventh class story.
Hare, how sweet you remember that. Thank you very much. So to complete it for you again, what you said, you're dedicated to you. your favorite lines. Actually, it was written by Sohanlal Dwivedi. A lot of people think it's written by Harivansh Rai Bachchan Saab, because Amitabh Bachchan Saab said this in a Kaun Banega Crorepati show. Later on, Amitabh Bachchan Saab clarified it. He tweeted it. It's by Sohanlal Dwivedi. And what Sohanlal Dwivedi writes is, लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती। एक नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेकर चलती है, चढ़ती दीवारों पे 100 बार फिसलती है। मन का विश्वास, रगों में साहस भरता है, चढ़कर गिरना, गिरकर चढ़ना ना करता है। मेहनत उसकी आखिर बेकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की
हार नहीं होती।
हार नहीं होती। डुबकियां सिंधु में गोताखोर लगाता है, जा जाकर खालिया लौट आता है। मिलते नहीं सहजे मोती गहरे पानी में, बढ़ता दुगना उत्साह इसी हैरानी में। मुट्ठी उसकी खाली हर बार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों के
हार नहीं होती।
हार नहीं होती। असफलता एक चुनौती है, उसे स्वीकार करो। क्या कमी रह गई देखो और सुधार करो। जब तक ना हो सफल, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम। कुछ करे बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की
हार नहीं होती।
हार नहीं होती। खूब फरमाया आपने भी। थैंक यू वेरी मच। टेक केयर। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद। थैंक यू सर।